Hi guys, welcome. So nothing's easy. We're going to start at the top really with Macron schooling Trump really at that press conference. I'll put the press conference up in a minute, but I want to talk about, well, sunshine. I'll tell you what, the rain's been so bad in England. It's the first time we've had some sun, so I thought what I'm going to do is take you with me. We'll go for a walk. But the first thing is, what is going to happen if Trump is not backing us now, or the US is not backing us? And I think the outcome of B is that Europe will have to become obviously NATO, but in a bigger way, maybe come out of Brexit. No, that would be controversial, but I think we should all become one, join up. Then as an economy, we're the same size as the US. So if the US doesn't want to play ball and help us like we've helped them and they've helped us in the past, fine, we just move on. And looking at that press conference, is Macron the guy who's going to take that up for us and go, right, okay, well, could he lead it? And the way he spoke with Trump, I thought was very impressive. I've never really heard him talk much, but I thought he was really, really impressive in that conference. Also, Trump just kept lying. And how many times are we going to have it that he can just keep lying and we all just go, oh, well, that's okay, just keep lying? I mean, how can someone say that Ukraine invaded Russia? It doesn't make any sense. But then you have to think back and you think, well, he's playing the game, isn't he? He's playing the game. Make Ukraine the bad guy because he's trying to negotiate. And I have to take all this in because I've got a business, I've got family, friends, like you all have. And I just want to know what's going on. But also, it's made me very anxious. Like I've got, I slipped over. Got a lot of anxiety about this in a way that I haven't had before. You know, when they first invaded, you thought, okay, this is going on and it's getting closer. But now, it's getting so much more real. And even today, stuff's happening where they're doing a mineral deal. You don't really know what's going on. And that's why I've done the channel, because I thought there's a lot of people I could bring into the channel with a lot more knowledge and military knowledge than me that could help and maybe take my anxiety down a bit. Not sure that's going to happen because of the way it is at the moment. So what actually happened in this interview? So I'm thinking long-term Europe becomes one, Russia and the US, and maybe Europe includes Canada, because if the US is pulling out of Canada, we might as well have Canada in. Then we need someone to head that, fine. But what actually happened in this press conference is basically Trump twice was trying to say that Europe are going to get their money back and we hadn't really paid any money. And I'm not an expert on all of it, but Macron put out his hand, grabbed Trump and said, no, this is what happened. First time ever a US president's been called out.
Ukraine first being compensated because they are the one to lose a lot of their fellow citizens and being destroyed by these attacks. Second, all of those who paid for could be compensated, but not by Ukraine, by Russia, because they were the one to aggress.
Again, just so you understand, Europe is loaning the money to Ukraine. They get their money back.
No, in fact, to be frank, we paid 60% of the total effort, and it was through, like the US, loans, guarantee, grants, and we provided real money, to be clear.
Yeah.
We have 230 billion frozen assets in Europe, Russian assets, but this is not as a collateral of a loan because this is not our belonging. So they are frozen. If at the end of the day in the negotiation we will have with Russia, they're ready to give it to us, super. It will be loan at the end of the day and Russia will have paid for that.
If you believe that, it's okay with me.
Mr. President,
if they get their money back, we don't. And now.
Then Trump said it again. And he went back at him again and said, no, this isn't right. And he was right and Trump was wrong. And Trump is just going to continually lie, maybe until people just believe what he's saying. That's the only thing I can think. So I come away from that thinking, well, we've actually got someone who's really standing up for us and Europe and Ukraine and what's going on. And if, he wants to believe that Ukraine invaded Russia, then he's crazy. And then I was thinking about this. So if Ukraine would give up today, Russia would take over and just keep going, wouldn't they? But if Russia gave up, then that would be it. Ukraine wouldn't go into Russia and go any further. So it's obviously Russia's the aggressor in this, and we all know that. But he's obviously trying to make us feel that they're not, which is crazy. Then you have to think, well, if he wants to say, well, we're not going to back you, the UK, then we all need to come together. But then we have problems, don't we? Because we've got a new government. And the way it feels at the moment is they are just taxing the hell out of everything. And it's demoralising, to tell the truth. So you've got a demoralising government. I know they've come out with some stuff yesterday, and this is what the channel will be, trying to keep you up to date with what I'm thinking. But also I need to get people in who really know their stuff. I'm not educated enough to know. I wasn't into politics at all, if I'm honest. The channel was going to be more about other stuff like well-being, but I need to know, because it's so fragile at the moment. Everything feels fragile. Like every press conference we're looking at and we're thinking, geez, what's going on? What's he doing now? What's he saying now? I'll do this, I'll sign this. I saw this morning that he's doing a mineral deal with Ukraine, 500 billion. So that makes me think, well, if you're doing a 500 billion deal with Ukraine, how the hell are Russia going to take Ukraine? And then he is with us then, isn't he? So it's like he's playing a game, but at a level that's a lot higher than maybe what he was negotiating before. And then what makes me laugh is that he says, well, we've done this new trade deal, we're going to tariff everyone, and they've had it all too good. He signed, when I put it up, he signed the original trade deal at the terms there are now, and his first year as president before. So he's changing his own terms, which is just bonkers. Crazy. And this is why this is just like an open discussion and seeing, like, what are you guys feeling out there? Are you feeling the same? Are you thinking like me that is it worth watching? But it is, because you have to, but it's just makes you so anxious, doesn't it? It brings you so much anxiety. When you see today, I've come out and I'm fishing today just because I thought I need to get away from this for a little bit, otherwise you can't sleep, you can't do it, because I'm trying to second guess everything that's happening. And there's a lot of people out here, we're not all, you know, and the people are going to watch these videos, we're not stupid in what's going on. We know what's going on, and there's so much going on in the UK, the different things they're trying to change and improve. But I think that we're at a point in Britain now where we have to turn a corner now. We have to all come together and go, right, we've got to make this country better, because where we are at the moment, we are just a total mess. I've never known it so bad. I've never known anyone complaining so much about the country and things. And people just haven't got the enthusiasm. And that's just because, you know, they're trying to tax us on everything. The planning laws are so difficult. It's difficult to do anything. And I saw, like, with international aid, they said we're going to cut international aid back to put more into defence. Well, can't we cut that even more? I think we've got to start looking after ourselves. If Russia are coming over, why are we giving all this money? And that, in a lot of ways, is where I see Trump being right on what he's doing with America. He's protecting America. Well, at some point, we've got to protect Britain. And we've got to get it right. And maybe it's just a bit of a shake-up, and everyone's got to go, oh, come on, we've got to get this right now. So yeah, a bit of a rant for the first one, but there's a lot of good videos coming soon. I've got a lot of really good topics, but this one's just going to run and run. And hopefully we get the right outcome and the war can finish and we can get ourselves on the right footing.